Okay. In case of your coaching,
white color.
so why sourcing? If you go to the definition point of view, basically sourcings are made for that is the selection of a farm, or in case of the simple definition of meaning of sourcing, selection of a farm for profit generation. There is a simple form of sourcing. Clear? The next part is if you go to the definition point of view, sourcing means selection by a farm is source of supply, raw material, component in case of manufacturing. So there is no confusion between manufacturing of previous class or this class because we are focusing on only sourcing. Clear? So before starting this particular subject, I will give the best example in case of Shakti Sugar. If you go to the Shakti Sugar industry, this is the largest sugar industry in case of Odisha, the state like Odisha. Because nowadays the company faces more amount of raw material crisis. Why the raw material crisis? The first thing is there. Someone is on their mute their microphones. So why in case of Shakti Sugar? The thing is that due to government rules, regulation, and act related to farming industry, related to agriculture industries, that's why initially the Shakti Sugar has sourcing the raw material. It is sugar cane in case of the local sources. So you know this particular plant is situated near Deccan and they are focusing around 100-kilometer radius for collecting raw materials in the form of sugar to produce sugar, fine grain of sugar. So due to the involvement of government rule regulations, even if you take the small case study of GST, that is in case of 18%, and GST is also applicable to your transport, GST also applicable to your purchase of component, different components who are directly associated with sugar industry. So due to that, what the Shakti group directly sent to another company that is known as Balaji Group. Clear? So after initiating the whole plant, whole sugar industry by Balaji Group, the company find that initially they are focusing towards local sources. Whatever component required, whatever your raw material required for producing sugar, they directly go for the nearby market for sourcing of raw materials. But whenever a Telangana-based company take over this particular sugar group, they are directly focused on only Andhra product. In case of Telangana state, in case of the Andhra Pradesh crop. So in the day-to-day life, you have observed so many trucks they can carry the raw sugar canes to that particular place. So due to that thing, what happen? Then more number of unions should be generated, and they are likely to make more number of strikes against that particular company. Just imagine during whole lockdown or before lockdown, the plant is shut down for 2 years. Only they are producing, but you can say that is why sugar company are very much profitable because they are generating alcohol. You can say that is raw spirit. This is one part of story. If you go to the next part of story of sugar industry, there is another company that is known as Asta Sugar. Asta Sugar Mill. Yes, that is situated near your Ganjam district. Yes. It is only one plant across India produce good quality of alcohol, methyl alcohol. And these are directly used or these are directly sourced by government of Odisha for producing the brand Asta. Yes, that's why the brand is Asta. Yes. In India, there is only two producers are there for producing methyl alcohol, good quality of methyl alcohol. Yeah. You don't go for the liquor consumption point of view. The thing is that methyl alcohol has various types of applications. So then you can apply in case of chemistry, in case of your process industry also, in case of your chemical industry, even some paint industry are also used recently for making thinners. Clear? So why I am talking this particular case study in case of sourcing, the thing is that they are directly focused on rural market. Due to that, they are only focused on the rural farmers. So
Hello,
due
sir.
to
Hello,
that,
sir.
yes,
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
my voice is not audible.
No, sir. Voice is breaking and it's just
It
lagging,
is due
sir.
to network problem. If you have just observed, actually, I'm not. I'm trying to make a particular bridge in between physical and online classes. The thing
Sir,
is that
sir, if you stand near the laptop or mobile phone, then it will be clearly audible to us.
mobile phone, I place my mobile phone near the laptop. You can say you can
Sir,
already see it on the laptop. Clear. But due to this
yes, sir.
particular network problem,
Sir, stand there, sir, stand here. We can
okay,
clearly
you can.
listen you, sir.
Okay. The thing is that why I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about particular case study in case of Askar sugar mills, they directly focus on farmers, rural farmers. So due to that thing, they optimize the transportation cost. The next part is that they directly focus on for purchase of or sourcing of different components from that particular plant. So due to that thing, they are also focusing on global sourcing. Why global sourcing? They are directly selling methyl alcohols to different number of multinational companies. For example, in case of your United Beverage Near Porter, yes. In case of there is another group owned by your the actor that is known as Danny Joffa. Okay, he has already established a new because that is called your beverage industry near your Broadway industrial street. Okay. So due to that thing, the sourcings directly make a particular connection in between different sources, which is directly or indirectly associated with your operation. Is it clear? Moving to the second point, if you see, strategically a farm may choose to buy in a particular input, that is for product, from the outside supply, that is known as outsourcing, or produce it for itself as a part of vertical integration of systems. In the recent cases, you have already observed Tesla has entered Indian market. Clear. But the thing is that if you see in case of sourcing management point of view, the cost of that particular electric vehicle is starting from 60 lakhs to onwards. Is clear? So if you see the case study in case of that is known as Tata Group, it has already launched in case of hybrid electric vehicles, and the cost is around 20 lakhs onwards. So they have already surpassed the safety features in case of five-star ratings also, especially reference to Indian roads. So then we are talking about sourcings. Here. So if you see in case of Tata Group, they have associated with so many flagship companies. Here. Then it is easy for go for local sourcing or in case of outsourcing. But in case of Tesla, due to transportation cost, in case of cargo ships, the cost is very much higher side for the Indian customers. Similarly, if you take another example in case of Jara garments or Jara companies, clear? I am comparing with Jara and Aditya Birla, especially reference to sourcing management. So if you go to the Aditya Birla segment, there is Vanusen is there, Peter Ingram is there, even is Lenin, Alan Sul is there. But in case of Jara, only one brand is there. But the thing is that in case of design, in case of customer attraction towards their design garments, they are more success in case of sourcing. But if you compare with Aditya Birla Garment, there are number of manufacturing units across India, and only few distribution hubs are there, or only few manufacturing units are there. So, due to rapid demand from Indian customer point of view, they directly go for outsourcing. In the previous class, I am giving the example in case of manufacturing industries. So, they directly focus on outsourcing of stitching industry in case of Bangladesh, even if they are focusing on Nepal. Even if they are focusing on Myanmar also. Yes, because in case of migrating people from India to Myanmar, there is no particular visa or even your passport is required. Yes. So that is why whenever you produce anything, you directly go for sourcing, and most of the sourcing is done by the purchase department, by coordination of financial or finance department. Then if you go to the hotel industry point of view, for example, in case of sourcing, I'm giving two examples in case of KFC, another is Virgin. So if you go to the registered or brand value of a particular company, especially reference to sourcing, KFC is already registered in UK Stock Exchange, and Virgin recently in the month of December 2020 is registered in case of National Stock Exchange. Yeah. So due to introduction of this particular brand in case of Indian customer, if you go to the customer point of view, more people are people KFC. But we people don't know how they manage their sourcing or sourcing management. Clear? So if you go to KFC point of view, that spices are directly exported from Australia. It is a patented spices. You can say that is the process is both patented in Australia as well as in case of US also. So due to more demand from customer point of view, they directly focus on sourcing for raw chickens or raw flesh from the local market.
Chicken specific
This,
KFC chicken specific है ना कि सेटा
they, but in case of outsourcing, they directly mention the weight, the length of that particular flesh. That should be strictly mentioned. But if you go to the butcher point of view, they have so many, I consider it, so many processing industries are there. What are the processing industries? In case of veg item, they focus on Nasik area. In case of non-veg item, they are focusing on Telangana state, or in case of Andhra Pradesh. In case of fruits item, they are focusing on even if Nagpur and some part of Himachal, even if Jammu Kashmir. And directly they outsource in a particular processing unit, which is situated near Nasik area. And from that Nasik area to this to several number of outlets.
So the industries like Mayfair and also
They are
local
also
market,
they are also focusing on that particular things, local markets. Yes, because the cost of that particular product is very. The next part is that I told in case of this is a typical example in case of your hotel industry. If you go to the service industry point, so there is a central government owned sorry, your hotel is there, Osoka Group Limited is there. If you compare with Osoka Group Limited versus your Mayfair or Ginger Hotels Limited. So why they are the private owned hotels are very much or they are generating more profit as compared to the central government authorized.
the service are good.
Exactly, because first thing is service, the next part is MBS, the next part is you can say it is a both they provide more customers or satisfaction through their services. But here we are talking about sourcing management. Here, most of the industry, those who are belong from private industry, they are focused on local sources. Here, so it is easy to hire a particular person for your HR or HR related activities. The next part is that it is easy to hire some localized people in case of food production. It is easy to accommodate them and easy to communicate them. This is one part. The next part is that in case of production. Like, most of the, if you see in case of Mayfair, even if in case of Gingers, they are directly tie up with some localized companies. For example, in case of Distillery International Private Limited, that is not that the franchise is owned by Distillery, but it's run by some private proprietor. So they are directly tied up with that particular companies. But in case of you go to the Osoka Group, they are tied up with Coca-Cola for drinking water. In case of Kinley, they are tied up with PepsiCo for Aquafina. So due to that tie-up or that outsourcing, what will happen? The cost of service or cost of providing service is very much higher side. So due to that thing, what will happen? Whenever you go for sources, you have to choose the perfect farm, which is more suitable. Then moving to the next part, if you go to, I have already told so many times, so there are no number of transport industries are there across India. So why two companies, so only one company is survived since 2 decades in case of Tata Group. Tata initially provided the bid for transport agencies for carry raw or unfinished steel product from Jamshedpur to your Vizag steel plant. Because if you go to the caste point of view or generation point of view, these people are Irani people. Jamshedji Tata, or you can say that they are the next generation also, even Ratan Tata also. So they are directly linked the Iranian company that is known as Sejal Transport Private Limited. In our day-to-day life, in case of Queen City, we have observed so many trucks. Okay. And due to assignment of that particular company, that company provides huge amount of discount in case of transport. Yes. So there are more number of multinational companies as there. I will give another small example. Whenever the Tata Nano Singur project was shifted from Singur to Sanand of Gujarat, the company directly provided a bid for transportation of whole industry from that place to Sanand, Gujarat area. So there are more number of multinational companies are came forward for bidding of the transport of the huge industry from that particular cluster. But Tata simply reject all companies. They directly go for local transport industry because if you provide the time bound transportation, in that case you can directly optimize the cost of transportation because it is the duty of Tata Group or Telco Group. They have already provide the but they have already taken the advance booking in case of Tata Nano during that particular case. So due to a heavy demand from customer point of view, they are directly focused on rural sources. In case of Tata. So these are the few examples. Moving to the next one. So if we go to the sourcing point of view, I'll just read this one. The first one is receive and analyze the code. So whenever a company go for sourcing, they initially receive and analyze the different codes by different suppliers as well as different companies. The next part is identify the potential suppliers. So if there is 10 to 20 number of suppliers are there, so you have to identify the potential suppliers. In that case, I will give the next example. During initiation of your Falcon Marine Group or your Magnus Food International Group, these are the two groups very much famous in case of seafood, in case of street goods. Initially, Falcon moved for more number of Mercedes. Who is the owner of Falcon Marine Export? Tata Ranjan Patnaik in that time. So he is the owner of highest number of Mercedes in Odisha state like. Initially, the company directly focused on local sourcing. Clear? Local sourcing of transportation of seafood. So after two years, company observed that the transportation cost is very much higher side as compared to their product shipment. Clear? The next part is that they are directly the transportation activities took place between your Chilica to your Manchester Industrial State. So due to that, what will become the cost of transportation is very much higher side, and company analyzed if I launch our own transport, then the cost will be directly decreased. So that is why company initially identify potential customer for transport activity, but later on they analyze that due to this engagement of private sourcing in case of transportation, the cost of transportation is higher side as compared to their food processes. Similarly, same group in case of Falcon Mine Export Group, they own a steel plant in case of your Bharti. That is Patnaik Steel and Iron, sorry, Patnaik Steel and Power Limited. That company is totally run by his son. He is the MD and CEO of that particular steel industries. In case of that Budwell area, it's very much dense area in case of mining, in case of even forest, and the roads are not good. So due to most of the that is Odisha Mining Corporation has leased so many multinational company for extraction of iron ores or even coal also. So this particular area is very much famous for iron ores. Okay. So what will happen? Company observes that the transportation cost is very much higher side, and it is difficult to use or invest huge amount of capital for transportation. So in case of transportation, for example, the basic rule of transportation is that the transportation cost should not be exceed 5% of your production. Suppose my cost of that particular product is 100 rupees. That means transportation cost is included only 5%. That should not be exceed more than 5%. That is the principle of transportation. So due to higher amount of transportation, what will happen? Company observed that if you invest a huge amount of money for transportation activities, where directly goes to loss of profit. So initially they hire or they directly engage some outsourcing person in case of transportation activities. From some local agency in case of Budwin, in case of Kevchers, because there are infinitive number of transport owners are there. So due to that thing, company analyze if I engage a local sourcing agency for transportation activities, the cost will be surpassed after 5 years. That should be more than 200 to 300 crore rupees. That's why companies directly establish own conveyor belt. Just imagine the length of that conveyor belt is around 45 kilometers. 45 kilometers. Yes. And from by the help of that conveyor belt, they directly ship the raw material from mining area to that plant. And the just investment of 50 crore rupees. But the thing is that you have to engage some skilled people to maintain that particular conveyor. So if you go to the wages point of view, the wages is very much nominal as compared to your cost of investment. Is it clear? Okay. The next part is supplier nominations. So most of the supplier nomination is done through reference. Suppose I purchase particular products from market, clear. Someone is directly referred. Better you go to that shop. That shop will provide more amount of discount. The next part is that is RFQ, that is known as the request for quotes. Clear. So if you hire a particular sourcing company for your purchase of raw material or in case of sourcing, you request for quotations. This is the most important. The next one is negotiations. Clear. So what is the definition of negotiation? You have already gone through in case of your business law. In case of negotiation, there is two parties here. One from the company, another for sourcing or suppliers. In case of negotiation, more amount of product, you can say that is more amount of dialogue is exchanged between the first party and second party for betterment of both parties. Whether you maximize profit or they maximize profit, that is depend upon your negotiation point. Okay. The next part is supplier audit and verification. So after finishing, starting from the receive, analyze the code, identify the potential supplier, then supplier nomination, request for quotes, then the negotiation, then finally go for supplier audits. Clear? All the things should be implemented by only one group in the case of state like Odisha. The group name is ISAR. ISAR group. ISAR Paradise. In case of ISAR groups, ISAR has many diversity in case of products. They have petroleum, they have steels. Clear? In case of, I'm giving the example in case of steels. So ISAR is only one company. They are specialized in case of armored steels. Those are used in case of defense only. So you have already visited Vija Steels. Vija Steel is specialized for what?
Automobiles.
Yes, Shivashankar, you have visited Vija Steel?
Yes, sir.
The Vija Steel is specialized for what? Which type of steels?
Sir, best ferrochrome steel, sir, for suitable for the automobile sector.
Exactly. The grade is known as high steels. These are known as high steels. But in case of ISAR is specialized in case of armor steel. These are used vastly in case of defense or defense vehicles. Okay. So why am I talking? The thing is that they have directly go for these two. Sorry, in case of ISAR, ISAR has more number of diversity in case of product. They have petroleum, they have cement, they have steels. Okay, they are petrochemicals also. Yes. Initially, they directly assign the local agency for transportation activities. Yes. So for that transportation activities, they face more number of strikes because most of the people are land users. In that case, the company is directly go for your request for quotations and finalize some consider it is more number of suppliers. Yes. And company realized that the cost of transportation is very much higher side as compared to their steel production. Yes. So due to that thing, it is the only one company who implemented pipeline for transportation activities. from Birdville to that Paradip port. To directly mix the iron ores and pump at the place of sourcing to that particular plant site. So
Sir,
due to
may
that,
I?
yes, yes,
Sir, I have an example, sir. May I,
yes,
sir?
yes, you can, yes, yes,
Sir, in case of different companies, sir, they are assigning, they are sourcing the security agencies
yes,
because of security agencies. Securities are very expensive persons for the company, so they are
yes,
assigning jobs to the different security agencies and for contractual basis also. And they are
yes,
doing their job and they are just fixing some amount of money for them, for the company, for the agency, and they are just providing those salary to the persons, and company is not handling that type of issue for the people, security
yes, yes.
agencies. This is a very good example for the sourcing strategy. And
Yes.
in case of, sir, in case of ITC also, sir, the sourcing is done by the backward integration of the ITC. That is each sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Fine. He has also quoted some best example in case of ITC. Yes. Then moving to the next one. So if you go to the definition point of view of sourcing, sourcing really defined as technical activities with the purpose of identifying exist suitable product and service to the market, qualified the suppliers available to provide those products and services. Point number two, sourcing aims to collecting and analyze information about the capability within the market to satisfy the organizational requirement. And the last point is that, for example, update cost information. Due to sourcing, you know about the cost information from the market. The next part is determine the appropriate technology and alternative product will identify the appropriate supplier. The last one is in case of qualifying criteria. So just note down these points only. Obtaining the update cost information. The next point is to calculate or determine the appropriate technology. I will give the best example in that particular things. And the next point is alternative product. And the last one is identify the appropriate supplier, that is qualification criteria. These four are the most important point as far as concerned with sources. If you go to the update cost information, in case of collecting data through the request for quotations from various type of supplier, you can collect the data. In your SIP, you have done so many types of collection of data, but the thing is that in case of sourcing, the cost or part of cost is very much important. The next part is appropriate technologies. So why appropriate technology? For example, there is more number of companies are available, but the thing is that few companies are use the latest technology in case of production and in case of manufacturing. Yes. In that case, the most of the chances in case of negotiation directly goes to those who are technically enhanced companies. The next part is if you not found any kind of suitable product, you must go for alternative product. Yes. So in case of your India's fast SUV, in case of Scorpio, yeah. So before launching Scorpio, Mahindra decide and Mahindra Group decide that first we launch Mahindra Bolero. Yes. So after the vast success of Mahindra Bolero, due to vast demand of that Indian fast SUV, sports utility vehicle in case of Scorpio, customer demand is more or customer demand is on the higher side. So due to that higher demand from the customer point of view, company directly go for global sources. So in case of global sources, they are just divide the component, the whole vehicle into different component, and different components are directly assigned to multinational companies. Some companies belong to your Taiwan, some company belong to your Egypt, some company belong to Indonesia, some Japanese company belong to Japan. They made that particular things, and that all components are outsourced and they are assembled in Nashik, or you can say it is the in case of Maharashtra. So due to that global sourcing, they are vastly sell that particular vehicles in various range. They also focusing on research and development. So due to that research and development, we have already seen the latest variant in case of Mahindra Scorpio. So it happened due to what? whenever you go for cost information or alternative technology or alternative product, or in case of the qualification criteria. Suppose I directly go for customization of a particular vehicle from a local source. And the cost of local sourcing in case of customization of my vehicle is around 1 lakh rupees. But in case of your quality or supplier qualification criteria, if I assign DC designs, so which will you prefer? Obviously, go for DC design because they have the criteria, they have the qualification, they are expertise for customization of any kind of vehicles. Whether the cost is very much little bit higher side, but the thing is that customer satisfaction is very much important as far as concerned with sourcing management. Is it clear? Moving to the next one. So here the sourcing lead to better understanding of the market. This knowledge will help to pass for each assist in case of make or buy or lead decisions. Okay. So just forget about make or buy. I am giving the example of lead decisions. Here. Have you heard Infra Group? Yesterday I have told the case studies. So in case of Infra Group, the government of Odisha gives the lease of mining of iron ores. Here. So just imagine the cost of iron ore is around 8 to 10 rupees per kilo. It is available in case of state like Odisha. But if you export this particular iron ore to different countries, the cost is very much higher side. It is around 38 to 40 rupees. But if you melt this one, the cost is around 60 to 65 kilo rupees per kilo. Clear? So in case of lease, government of Odisha has given the lease to Infra Group for extraction of iron ore from which area? It is Theruvali, near Koraput district or Rayagada. Clear? And company initially found that the whole mountain is covered up with ferrochrome. Basically, chrome is used for polishing. Whatever you use in case of you watch, even if your bar handle of bikes that are vastly used by chrome, or they are most important element is chrome. And it is also vastly used in case of medical or surgical equipments because they are less intoxic to human body. The next part is that they are easy to sanitize. So initially, company just hidden the whole information and do not provide the information to the government of Odisha, and then started digging till date. So whatever the after formation of Odisha Mining Corporation, the corporation found that the whole mountain is covered of ferrochrome. Clear? Then after they made a particular rule regulation for that particular company. So just imagine if I go for extraction of ferrochrome since 2 decades, not 2 years, 2 decades, and exporting good quality of ferrochrome to different countries. So what about the profit generation and just amount? Just imagine the amount in case of dollar, not in case of rupees. Okay, so that's why the most important thing is make and buy. You already know make and buy, but the most important thing is lease. Clear? So some company, for example, some company do not sell their particular product. For example, in case of Paris factory. Paris factories is directly focused on local sources. They are not never go for any kind of you can say it is national level sourcing or global sourcing. So due to what happens, the companies directly take huge amount of debt from the market. But in case of if you go to that particular outlet, nobody purchases. 800 रुपए है केक का प्राइस 1000 रुपए है 1500 रुपए है बेटर भी कॉन्सेप्ट में पहाड़ this is
Original service 75.
exactly. So due to that thing, they do not focus on sales. They only go for collection of huge amount of capital from the market. So due to that thing, just imagine around 60 or more than 60 number of franchises should be shut down.
What's the name?
Nowadays, people are run on
Paris.
Exactly. So if you go to the first, next one, determine when to buy. It is the fact is that fact is given by the production department. So whenever they produce, they directly go for they're giving the information to the purchase department, and purchase department is responsible to provide that particular raw material to the production. The next part is established realistic delivery schedule. In this case, I will give a small example in case of your home-fed versus milk. Okay. Even if in case of lease also, I will give the same example. If you go to the home-fed point of view, during the period of Kustikes Panda, he had generated 100 crore rupees profit. During this period, he's the director of home-fed for 2 years only. Within 2 years, that person generated 600 crore rupees in home-fed account. Profit, only profit. Clear. And that was the most controversial interview given by Rishikesh Padav, one of the qualified IS officer from the Odisha batch.
Sir, Odisha's first rank.
Yes. Okay.
Sir,
He's
sir,
from your place.
sir, also sir from Bhadrak.
Yeah, I know. Okay. After that, after only 1 year, just due to that, you can say that is scam, or you can say that is due to lack of interest in case of milk industries, the 600 rupees directly goes to minus 100 crore rupees after 1 and 2 years. Okay. Even they do not go for hygienic environment. Nowadays, if you observe, if you go in the gate, south gate, or in case of your west gate side, you can easily enter or you can see all the process of pasteurization or packaging also. But the thing is that if you go to the milk point of view, the company is started by ODA people, and the thing is that they directly hire or outsource the employees or ex-employee of Umpred to their group, and some diaries are directly closed by. Okay. And that were directly charged, they directly take the lease of that particular operation, which are totally shut down by Umpred. So if you go to milk point of view, they directly focus on abandoned dairy industries like your you can say it is Redacol. There is a huge dense forest area. In case of Jaipur, they also took over another plant. In case of Berhampur, in case of Balesur, those are already shut down by Umpred, and milk mills take the decision for lease, take the operation of dairy industry for lease. So lease is maybe 1 year, 2 year. Clear. In case of land, it should be goes to 99 years. So who sees the 99 years? Clear. That is another group. Milk Munka female segment. The female segment milk Munka. Okay. In that case, they directly go for local segment. So in case of Umphed, they never accept milk in rainy season. Clear. The term and condition of Umphed is fixed that they never receive raw milk during rainy season. But if you think scientifically, during rainy season, the cow produces more milk. Clear? And that concept is taken by milk moo. They produce variety of segment of product, like butter, like curd, like sweet curd. And if you go to the density point of view, in case of proteins, clear? Umphed directly remove the protein and convert it into ghee. Clear? But in case of milk food, they directly provide the information. We have added vitamins, we have added proteins, and the percentage of protein should be written on the pack, and that attract more amount of customers. And it happened due to their sourcing management. In case of taking so many dairy industry for lease, and the next part is that they go for the delivery schedule. They, in case of delivery schedule, they use the shortest method. It is known as milk run method. These are vastly used nowadays. Most of the dairy industry are used or run by milk run method. So initially, what has happened? Initially, they engage more number of vehicles for collection of raw material. Suppose this one is one destination, there is three destinations are there. That means at a time, four vehicles should be run from that four destinations. So just imagine the cost of pilot, the cost of wages of driver, the cost of the co-drivers or you can say the helper. The next part is the fuel, the maintenance charges of vehicles. And the next important thing is that you have to go and faster to receive the or collect the raw material.
Sir, which was the easy mode of transportation?
This one is the milk run methods. Okay. So basically, in case of milk move or your room fed, they directly go for local sources. So due to more involvement of milk farmers or agri industry belong to the milk, they are more profitable. Their livelihood increase due to this innovation technologies. Okay. That means in case of milk farm, only one vehicle should be reached up to number of destinations, and they immediately collect during the morning hour and reach at the plant near about 11 a.m. And then after they go for processing. Again, the same vehicle will be run for distribution of those things. That means only one vehicle and engagement of two
सर
people.
सर आज का बिल कर देते हैं.
नहीं आज के बिल आज ही हो जाएगा. That means. So they are using pasteurizing process. So in case of pasteurizing process, it suddenly increase the temperature of milk up to 200 degrees centigrade, and a fraction of second it just cool down -6 degree temperature. That is known as pasteurizing technology. So due to the increase and the rapid decrease of temperature,
सर इस मतलब बारहमपुर के प्लांट में मिल्क मतलब ओजन छिड़ी वाला then सर
they directly convert into cheese.
प्रोसेसिंग तो सर वो एक
No, that's why they directly send number of you can say this tankers, milk tanker to that particular destination. But as Abhishek said, suppose in case of your Manchester plant has faced a particular problem in case of milk production. Here. So then the local market or local customer cannot be receive that particular product. In that case, the other distribution centers like Barampur, like Balesur, they send number of trucks to fulfill the demand. Clear? Because they are receiving huge amount of extra amount of milk, and that milk should be converted to different product. Clear? So that's all from my side. Okay, next class we will continue. Any doubt from your side?
No, sir.
Or you can
Sir. Sir,
okay, it is difficult to, from my point of view, to make a particular bridge between online and offline. I will try my best.
no problem, sir.
Better
Sir,
if people.
it is interesting, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, I will send the PPT along with the notes. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Yes.
sir, tell about the company I serve you.
Actually, I just
No.
due to this particular class. Okay, I will give the details of that particular company at the evening. Though if you want this one particular, I just collect the data. Then after I proceed to give the information. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, stop recording.
Yes.
Yes, sir, stop recording.